In World War II, Japan had one of its largest military-industrial bases on the island of Taiwan in the city of Takao. We find out what it was like to live as some of the people there in Raid on Takao.
And welcome to Tantrum House Studio Awesome. I'm Katie.
And I'm Ryan, and today we're going to talk about Raid on Takao from Mizo Games. It's a game for 2 to 6 players in which the players are all cooperatively going through different scenarios that are based on life in Takao during World War II and the different things that happened there. We have our hands on the game. This is an already published game, but they're trying to expand to the English market, and we're going to take a look at it now.
During setup, each player will select a character. Each character has a special skill and 3 entanglement cards that provide goals for the character and rewards for if they complete them.
The goal of the game is to complete objectives while maintaining the health and mitigating the rising despair of your character. If your despair and health tracks ever meet, your character dies and the game is lost.
The game is played across 4 phases. In the survival phase, players use stamina tokens to take a set number of actions. These will let the player move onto adjacent spaces, draw a resource card by searching a location, or remove ruin tokens by cleaning up an adjacent location.
Once all players have used up all their stamina or passed, the scenario phase takes place. This usually activates some effect either on cards or in the broader scenario in order to advance the plot.
In the air raid phase, a dice is rolled to determine how many spaces the bombers will advance around the map. Whatever row and column the bombers land in, you will then place a ruin token on each of its locations. Ruins prevent players from entering locations or using their effects. Also, if a player is in the location when it's bombed, their character loses 2 health and gains a despair.
Before starting the next round, players use the consumption phase to regain stamina by either losing health or using up their food. Players also regain the use of their skills and any tapped card abilities.
The game comes with 5 scenarios for different difficulties. Each scenario has a board objective, and the players need to work together to complete it by the end of the 6th round. Scenario 1 has the players focus on the inward trauma of living in a war zone, but the other scenarios are all inspired by actual events and have players doing things like rescuing victims from a shipwreck or guiding endangered zoo animals to safety.
I really did enjoy playing this game. It was a little different, but it was fun with how you had to cooperate together to complete your objectives. Like, I have a different objective than you do with my entanglement cards, and I'm trying to complete my own personal objective while we're all working together for the cooperative thing that's going on. I also liked the aspect of the planes moving around the board and just bombing stuff, and you having to take cover in the different air raid shelters while parts of the map became unusable till you cleaned them up.
Yeah, I think this game does a good job of taking very serious and emotionally charged content and making it a playable game. There are some kind of tragic backstories that these characters have that you're playing as, and they actually also have overlapping goals that they're trying to do, like a guy and a girls trying to do these different things to accomplish different goals, and the guy's goals are to follow her around because he's trying to woo her in the midst of all this crisis.
There's definitely a web of characters and how they all interact, but if you decide to play someone who doesn't necessarily have a connection with somebody else, it's still playable. It adjusts your objective so that you can still play the game without your love interest being there.
Yeah. So it's got some really neat things. Of course, I feel like it wouldn't be a Japanese-themed anything if they didn't have these cute little animal sidekicks that you can find. And they add an interesting twist on the game, having the different little animals give you special abilities for your character. Finding items and locations will give you something like my character one time found a bike and it gave them an extra space that they can move on their turn, which really helped. And it's interesting to see that these entanglement cards that they are trying to accomplish either will add something to your character's abilities or it'll take away something, and you're not necessarily going to accomplish everything, but you're not going to lose the game necessarily if you don't accomplish them. So it's just really interesting to see. It's almost like this interesting storytelling that runs throughout this game as well.
There's a very serious aspect of this is war, what does it look like to live there? But then it's got some sort of manga anime stylings to the art and some of the storylines that it makes it fun to play. Okay. This will be at Essen 2019, so you can check out Mizo Games booth there. So definitely check that out. They'll have it there with some of their other games that they're trying to expand their market on. Mm-hmm. So definitely look forward to that. And if this sounds of interest to you, you can already purchase it online. So look for it on Amazon. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to stay tuned to our channel for more videos like this one, and we will see you later. Bye.
We did it!
Was that okay?
While she was asleep. I felt like I needed to be like...
I don't know.